Hello, Raptors Nation. Sean Davis here for the Raptors Nation, your home for everything related to the Toronto Raptors. It's free agency season, and it's the summer of trades, and the Raptors have been linked to Kevin Durant. Yes, you heard that right. Kevin Durant, superstar player, has formally requested a trade in recent days from the Brooklyn Nets, telling Nets ownership. And one team he's been potentially linked to is the Toronto Raptors. Adrian Wojnarowski for ESPN reported today on ESPN, or yesterday as the time of this recording, on ESPN, that one team to keep an eye out for is the Toronto Raptors. They are lurking is one of the potential trade destinations for Kevin Durant. Man, oh man, that's huge. So really, really quickly, I want to talk about the Kevin Durant trade saga itself. I feel like one thing is this is kind of putting a stop hold on the entire NBA free agency right now. I think once Kevin Durant gets his trade done, that's the next domino to fall. And then you'll see free agency really heat back up as some of these trades get done and finalized. I think that's what's kind of taking so long for the league to pick back up. Again, at the time of this recording, no Kevin Durant trade has happened yet. But some teams have been thrown out there. The Phoenix Suns, the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors have been thrown out there as well. The Celtics vaguely have been thrown around there. I think they have a good package. The Pelicans, a couple other teams as well. The Pelicans are more of a, they could probably throw a good package at Brooklyn. But you look at those top few teams I mentioned. Phoenix, Brooklyn's not interested in DeAndre Ayton, and I believe Phoenix cannot trade Devin Booker yet. If you go to Miami, the report is Kevin Durant wants to play with Jimmy Butler. He will be interested if he can play with Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, and Bam Adebayo. That's what recent reports have been. There's no way that's possible. Miami cannot get a trade done without trading one of those players. Toronto can. Toronto Raptors, they have a package that could realistically, get what Brooklyn's looking for in terms of players that can contribute right away, but also giving them the draft compensation they might be looking for as well. Obviously, the Rudy Gobert thing has kind of thrown everything off with the massive trade he's gone. But in my opinion, I don't think Kevin Durant's going to go for that much. And I think the reason is Utah in that trade, they're trying to dump some salary. They're trying to get draft picks. So they said, Minnesota, give me all the picks for Kevin Durant. Brooklyn can't, so they're not tanking, but they can easily set up a route to go tank. Brooklyn can't do that. But the Brooklyn Nets, they don't have their draft pick until 2027. The Houston Rockets either have a draft swap, a pick swap, or an unprotected Nets pick until 2027. So Brooklyn cannot afford to tank. So Brooklyn, that's why their mindset is more set on getting a quality player that can contribute right away. And Toronto has that. They have the picks and the players. So let's talk about some potential packages. First off, Kevin Durant, his extension kicks in starting next upcoming season. He'll get paid $42 million, and he has 4 years left. 4 years of control on Kevin Durant. 4 years, $194 million contract, signing the extension with the Brooklyn Nets. And, well, now whatever team you'll be on, they'll have 4 years of control of Kevin Durant's contract. Now, potential packages, I think Raptors fans, the one player they really don't want to see traded is Scottie Barnes. If you could somehow have a situation where you could keep Scottie Barnes but still manage to get Kevin Durant, that's a massive plus. And I think you could. I think you could throw a package, a Pascal Siakam and maybe Gary Trent Jr. That right there in terms of players, that will work in terms of money. And then you give them the picks. You give them whatever picks, all the picks in the world that need to get the deal done. The Raptors, they have all of their picks leading up till 2029. They have all their picks, so you can send them 2023 unprotected, 2024 pick swap, 2025 unprotected, 2026 pick swap, 2027 unprotected. Send Brooklyn all the picks if you have to. Pascal and Gary Trent Jr. I personally think it's going to take something like that player-wise, especially if you don't want to trade Scottie. I think that's what you're looking at. I think if you really want to make a run at KD without giving up Scottie Barnes, that's what we're talking about here. You're talking about an all-NBA player in Pascal Siakam, plus a really high-level role player. And, low-level. Like, if he had a great season, he could be an all-star, I guess, one day. But that's what you're looking at in that package, and that's something kind of what Brooklyn's been asking for. Or you go get OG Anunoby, a little more upside, and could be an all-star. Honestly, next year if you really want to be, I guess. But could be an all-star, and then the same thing with Gary Trent Jr. But I think you would, if you're not trading Scottie, it's going to take one of, if not both potentially, that we haven't ruled that out, of Pascal and OG Anunoby plus Gary Trent Jr., in my opinion. or maybe both. Maybe both. It's Pascal and OG Anunoby, and that is what gets the deal done. But I think if you're the Toronto Raptors, you have to do almost whatever you can to get Kevin Durant without giving up Scotty Barnes. And I think that's what's going to be the potential deal breaker or the deal saver. Is that if the Nets are really interested in Scotty Barnes, that's why I think Masai Ujiri packs up his bags and goes home. Because if you're the Raptors, you look at this roster right now, you're saying, we don't need to do this. We're not a desperate team. We can roll out this same roster right now, adding Otto Porter Jr. Go check out the video I just did on that as well. And be a contender in the Eastern Conference. Assuming Scotty takes that next jump like we think he will. Gary Trent continuing playing well. OG takes that next leap. Pascal still playing at all NBA level. Fred VanVleet being an all-star guard. We can still compete in the Eastern Conference. We don't need to do this trade. I think that's what the deal breaker might be. It's how serious are the Brooklyn Nets about getting Scotty Barnes. If the Nets are saying, nope, it's Scotty and a KD trade or no deal, I think Masai just packs up his bags and go home. Because I think they really do value Scotty Barnes. I think they see a lot of potential in Scotty Barnes. Well, Raptors Nation, comment down below. What are your thoughts on this whole Kevin Durant fiasco? Do you want Kevin Durant? And if so, at what price? Are we talking giving up Pascal Siakam? Are we talking about giving up OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, who I didn't mention it, Preston Chua? Are we talking about potentially giving up Scotty Barnes? Are you willing to give up Scotty Barnes if it means to get Kevin Durant? Raptors Nation, comment down below. Leave a like on this video as well. And as always, subscribe right here to the Raptors Nation YouTube channel. Hit that post notification bell as well, because it might get incredibly insane. You're going to stay in the know on all the Raptors coverage. Sean Davis here for the Raptors Nation. Stay safe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.